Ever wonder what it would be like to stand on the edge of a promise? Something you've waited your whole life for, only to let fear stop you at the finish line. Well, today we re-diving into an ancient story that is all about that moment, a tale of courage, fear, and the massive consequences of our choices. It's the story of the 12 spies and their mission to the Promised Land. After escaping slavery in Egypt and surviving the harsh desert, the Israelites were finally at the doorstep of Canaan, the land God had promised them. It was a land said to be flowing with milk and honey. Moses, their leader, decided they needed a little reconnaissance. So he chose one leader from each of the 12 tribes of Israel. 12 men, handpicked to be the eyes and ears for the entire nation. Their mission was clear and crucial. Moses gave them specific instructions. Go up into the land. See what it's like. Is the soil good or bad? Are the people living there strong or weak? Few or many? What about their cities? Are they open camps or fortified strongholds? And bring back some of the fruit of the land so we can see for ourselves. It was a mission to gather intelligence that would shape the destiny of millions. So the 12 spies set out, venturing into the unknown territory of Canaan. For 40 days, they traveled the length and breadth of the land. They saw its lush valleys, its flowing rivers, and its incredible bounty. In the valley of Eshcol, they found a cluster of grapes so massive it took 2 men to carry it on a pole. They also brought back pomegranates and figs. The evidence was undeniable. This land was everything God had promised and more. The spies had seen it with their own eyes. But they had also seen something else, something that planted a seed of doubt and fear in their hearts. When the 40 days were up, they returned to the Israelite camp. The entire nation gathered, eager to hear the news. The spies started their report by showing everyone the giant cluster of grapes. The land we explored certainly does flow with milk and honey. Here's its fruit, they said. You can imagine the excitement rippling through the crowd. But then the tone shifted. 10 of the spies continued, their voices heavy with fear. But the people who live there are powerful, and the cities are fortified and very large. We even saw descendants of Anak there. They were talking about giants, legendary warriors that made them feel, in their own words, like grasshoppers. They painted a picture of an unconquerable land filled with unbeatable enemies. Their report was a cocktail of truth and terror, and it spread like wildfire, extinguishing the people's hope and replacing it with despair. But wait. The land we passed through and explored is exceedingly good, Caleb declared. If the Lord is pleased with us, He will lead us into that land, a land flowing with milk and honey, and will give it to us. Only do not rebel against the Lord, and do not be afraid of the people of the land, because we will devour them. Their protection is gone, but the Lord is with us. Do not be afraid of them. It was a powerful plea for faith over fear. Joshua and Caleb saw the same giants and the same fortified cities, but they saw something bigger, a faithful God who had brought them this far. But their words fell on deaf ears. The people, swayed by the majority report, wept and grumbled against Moses, even talking about choosing a new leader to take them back to Egypt. This collective lack of faith had devastating consequences. God declared that because they had tested Him and refused to trust Him, that entire generation would not enter the Promised Land. They were sentenced to wander the desert for 40 years, 1 year for each day. The spies had explored the land until all the men of that generation had passed away. Of the 12 spies, only Joshua and Caleb, the 2 who brought a good report, were promised entry. A whole generation missed out on their destiny because they chose to focus on the giants instead of on God. It teaches us that our perspective and our faith can literally change our world. Do we focus on the obstacles or on the power that helps us overcome them? It's a question worth asking ourselves every single day. See you next time.